Good morning. This is your 8:15 daily operations weather briefing. Seeing some cool temperatures out there this morning with winds on the light side and seeing an abundance of high clouds around the area. Expecting a fairly similar day to what we saw yesterday. We'll see breezy conditions developing as we move through the morning and continuing through most of the day today. The only difference, we'll see about a degree or two warmer than what we saw yesterday, and we'll see some additional cloud cover around the area. Let's take a look at the current surface analysis. Still stuck in a somewhat temporarily stagnant pattern with high pressure dominating the mid-Atlantic and northeastern part of the country. So that stall boundary with some weak broad low pressure around that off the southeast coast. And we'll see this area of high pressure continue to dominate the forecast as we move over the coming day or two, and then we'll start to see that breaking down and some changes in the pattern as we get into the weekend. We take a look at our current conditions this morning. Again, that broken deck around 25,000 feet, winds light out of the north around 6 knots, temperature at 61 degrees, and our relative humidity is at 80%. If we take a look at our current visible satellite, we can see plenty of high clouds continuing to stream through the area, and we'll see those continue as we move through the entirety of the next 24 hours to 24 to 48 hours. Also seeing some of that cumulus field over the waterways just off the coast. Once again, we could see that build in along the local area as we see that breeze start to pick up today, so possibly seeing those sea lines develop once again around 3,000 to 4,000 feet. If we look at the GFS here, zoomed out to take a look at the broader pattern, again expecting dry conditions moving through the day today. Just breezy conditions will be the main story, and some additional cloud cover as that high pressure is set to our center to our north, and in that broad area low pressure keeping us under that northeasterly flow as we move through the remainder of the week. As you see, as we move into the day tomorrow, only change as we move into tomorrow is a slight increase in some additional cloud cover, but once again another breezy onshore winds kind of day as we move through the day, but overall expecting dry conditions to continue. As we move overnight into the day on Friday, we see that area of high pressure start to break down and move off to the east, and seeing some weak low pressure continue off the southeastern coastline. Overall expecting mainly dry conditions as we move through Friday, but we will see a slight chance of maybe a light shower or sprinkle popping up as we move through the daytime hours here. As you can see, the model indicating some of that green color moving into the area. Any pop-up shower we do happen to see on Friday will not be very significant, likely just a light sprinkle or a quick light shower, no significant accumulation if that is to occur. But again, just looking at about a slight chance of that happening, maybe 20% chance. And then our better chance of rain will potentially move into the area as we get into the day on Saturday as a boundary starts to approach the area. So if we look at our 24-hour weather risk chart for today, similar to what we saw yesterday, seeing that yellow risk for winds at or above 25 knots moving through our working hours today. Otherwise, seeing green conditions as we continue over the next 24 hours. We'll see our temperature topping off around 75 degrees this afternoon. We'll see those winds out of the east-northeast, 12 to 17 knots, gusting up to 23 knots, moving through the afternoon time frame. And as we go through the afternoon as well, we'll start to see those potentially cumulus clouds moving in off the waterways, possibly seeing that sea line develop around 3,500 feet for times during the afternoon time. And then as we move into the early evening, that's when we'll start to see those clouds break up a bit more, becoming partly cloudy. And then once we go into the overnight time frame, we'll see clouds on the increase again, becoming mostly cloudy as we move through the overnight time frame. We'll also see those winds lightening up a bit as we move through the overnight time frame. And with that cloud cover, we'll see our temperatures only cooling down to around 64 degrees, so not as cool as what we saw this morning, and more closer to the seasonable average for this time of year. And right now, with that northeasterly winds, keeping those tides slightly above normal, and looking at the rest of the work week, we're looking at mostly cloudy conditions and breezy once again for our Thursday. Again, somewhat of a repeat of what we'll see today, with the exception of some additional cloud cover and seeing a high of 77 degrees, so a couple degrees warmer for our Thursday, but continuing with that yellow risk for those winds at or above 25 knots. And we should see a slight breeze continue as we move through Thursday evening, but dropping off that risk for those above 25 knot winds. But we will see a slight chance of some low clouds with a partly to mostly cloudy evening. So we do have that yellow risk for reduced ceilings, and we'll see our low temperature around 66 degrees, once again about seasonable for this time of year. Moving into our Friday, we'll see mostly cloudy conditions continue. Won't be as breezy as we see today, yesterday, or tomorrow, so just looking at slightly breezy conditions, enough to go with green conditions for those winds. Expecting those winds to stay below 25 knots for our Friday, but we will see a slight chance of that pop-up shower or light sprinkle around the area, so looking at a yellow risk for some precip around the area. Otherwise, seeing a high temperature right around 79 to 80 degrees for our Friday. That's going to wrap up the 8:15 daily operations weather briefing. We'll be back again at 10 a.m. to take a look at the extended forecasts. Enjoy your morning.